Good afternoon and welcome. Let's take a look at our top story this hour. Germany has recorded nearly 30,000 cases of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. This is the highest number of cases ever recorded in a 24-hour period in Germany, ever since the beginning of the pandemic. Now, according to the mayor of the German capital, Berlin wants to close shops and extend the school Christmas holidays to try to get the pandemic under control. The country has been in partial lockdown for 6 weeks, with bars and restaurants closed, but shops and schools opened across Germany. Now, Europe's largest economy was more successful than many neighbouring countries in keeping the pandemic under control. While the country largely contained the spread of the virus in the first wave, it has been hard hit by a second wave of infections. Now, some parts of the country have started imposing tougher measures, especially in Bavaria, where people are allowed to leave their houses only for essential reasons. Chancellor Angela Merkel has also thrown her weight behind calls for a fuller lockdown, saying that vaccines alone will not have a major impact on the pandemic in the first quarter. According to the survey, some 43% of Germans will get a COVID shot as soon as a vaccine becomes available. Half of the participants, however, said that they would hold off for the moment, and 7% claimed that they did not want to get a COVID shot.
Specialty about this new line is that we put
DW correspondent Clifford Coonan joins us live from Berlin for more on this. Good afternoon. Thanks for being with us. Now, despite the fact that Germany's BioNTech is among the front runners to come out with a vaccine, vaccination has still not started in Germany. Why is that?
Well, basically, Germany needs to wait on a European decision before it can start introducing the vaccines from the European Medicines Agency, which is in Brussels. Because of that, they've just been putting preparations in place, but they don't expect a decision until possibly December 29th. The EMA has said they will make a decision before December 29th. On the BioNTech Pfizer vaccine and also on the AstraZeneca vaccine. So Germany has to wait basically until they've done their research. And of course, we've seen in the last week how Britain has started vaccinating. So obviously people are hoping that things hurry up. But I think generally people believe that this is the sustainable approach and people are waiting now.
Right. Now, what preparations is Germany making to roll out the vaccine when it does get this approval?
Well, there's been they've set up these vaccination stations all over the country. Here in Berlin, there are 6 in major facilities that are being set up. Jens Spahn, the health minister, has promised that there will be full vaccination by the autumn of next year. Everyone will have access to the vaccine by then, and he said there won't be compulsory vaccinations. So, in order to roll out that number of vaccinations, they need these centres. They're also trying to find health professionals to administer the vaccinations, because obviously to give them you need qualified personnel to do it. So it's a massive logistics operation. As I'm sure you're seeing there as well, everyone is dealing with this, but Germany is really working hard at trying to introduce these centres and try and set up a framework where people can give out the vaccines.
Right, and Clifford, Germany could be heading for another hard lockdown. Angela Merkel calling for a fuller lockdown. In the meantime, can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yes, next week they're going to meet to discuss this. There is broad support in Germany for a harder lockdown. I think in one survey they were saying 70% of Germans would favour it. Obviously, with the big Christmas holiday coming up, nobody is enthusiastic about it. But I think people generally recognise that this is the only way to combat it at this stage. This means that the shops and restaurants are already closed, but it could be extended now to include shops. And there could be nationwide curfews similar to what you're seeing in other states like Bavaria, which you mentioned, and in Baden-Württemberg. So we're definitely going to see a lot more restrictions. It's tough at this time of year because this is when obviously people are going out Christmas shopping, and in some of the tabloid papers there's been accusations that this is a war on Christmas shopping. But generally I think people are prepared to make these sacrifices. And until the vaccine does roll out in any significant numbers, they realise that this is the only way to deal with it.
Absolutely. Clifford, thank you very much for joining us for all the latest coming out of Germany.